So what we believe has the power to make or to mar us. Beliefs have the power to create or the power to destroy. That's the words of Tony Robbins, who is one of the speakers I love to read his book and listen to. Beliefs have the power to create and the power to destroy. And today, the topic we'll be considering is flip your negative beliefs to favorable outcomes now. Flip your negative beliefs. So I will assume maybe your negative beliefs are the left side and the good ones or the positives on the right side. We want to flip from left to right. Flip your negative beliefs even to favorable outcomes. Why? Because in the words of Tony Robbins, beliefs have the power to create and the power to destroy. You want to have a belief system that helps you to create the future that you want to see, not to destroy the future that you want to see. So using the map lamp principle, like we always do, this is adapt and advance series. We're going to be looking at the quote, the entire quote by Tony Robbins, where he said, belief has the power to create or the power to destroy. How do you want to use your belief? And he said for that, human beings have the awesome ability to take any experience of their lives and create a meaning that disempowers them or one that can literally save their lives. So we have the power to take the experiences we're going through right now to create a meaning that can either empower us or disempower us. So that's the words of Tony Robbins today, and that's the way we are making meaning today in this video. So the next step now is, now that we've made a meaning with this quote. So how did Tony Robbins use his belief systems to help him? And in his books, he did mention how he went through a lot of hardships growing up. One major hardship he went through was living in a household with an abusive mother. I remember in one of his books that I read, he shared the story of how life was so difficult for him growing up, facing homelessness as a teenager. All of this was really impactful on him and growing in a lot of poverty. Today is either millionaire or billionaire, I don't know, but at least today is financially comfortable despite so much poverty, abusive mother, facing homelessness as a teenager. He has been able to transform his life using the belief system. And that is what this video is about, that we can all transform our life through our belief systems that we have. So we can make meaning out of those negative situations in a positive way. So using the map lamp principle, after meaning making, which we've used the story of Tony Robbins, the next one is action, taking massive action, like I always like to put it. So how can you take action to flip negative beliefs into favorable outcomes? And I give us an example. A negative belief, for example, is I can't start a business. You can flip it by taking action and saying, I can learn the skills of business. One negative belief is I am always poor or I am poor. Another one way to flip it into favorable outcomes is I don't have money yet, but I have the potential to be rich. So those are ways to flip negative beliefs. And I give my personal example here, even talking about these videos that I make on a regular basis. When I first started making the videos, my very first video, which is still there, you can check it out, November 29, 2024. The quality was extremely poor, but that was just the first one. No lesson learned, nothing. But after that time, I took time to learn a little more about it, listen to podcasts that talk about it, bought a book on how to make good videos. And I'm not yet there yet, but at least it's far better. Where I am now is 1,000 times better than that very first video on July 29, which I've decided to leave standing on my channel. So I could use this as an example of something to explain the fact that you might not be good at something, but you can improve and you can get better. the improvement has been marked over the last, this is March, over the last like 4 months now, between November and now. So the point I'm making is it's important for us to know that we can change. I cannot make a good video or my videos are bad into my videos are not good yet, but they can be better. I have the potential to make them better. So flip those negative beliefs in a positive way. What you tell yourself matters a lot. So living action now. So M meaning making, we use Tony Robbins' story, the quote, and the personal story. A, action. I've used my own personal story to explain to you that you can tell yourself, you can change negative belief, you can flip it around. And at times we have so many. And that brings us to P, which is planning. So planning is we have to identify negative belief that is holding us down. You really have to sit down. You know, these are not things that just happens. You have to be very intentional to identify the negative beliefs that are holding you down and to make deliberate effort to flip them around for better. And you know, one negative belief that held me down for so long is I cannot pass USMLE exams. I shared in previous videos that, you know, it was tough for me to even decide to write the exam. After moving to the United States in 2014, it took me 5 years, 4 years to be able to even decide to pay for the exam and take it. Of course, I failed the first one, passed the next one. But the point is, those 4 years, I was like, I cannot do it. How can I do it? I'm so busy. I'm a student, full-time student, PhD. At some point, I was also having other extra jobs with it to make extra money for the family. So how do I cope with a job in my hand, a full-time student, and also still prepare for a USMLE Step 1 exam, which is one of the entry exams to be able to practice medicine in the United States for foreigners. Of course, graduates in the United States also take it, but they take it when they are students, when they are learning the skills. So it's different. So when you take an exam at the end of learning something about it, it's different from somebody who's been out of medical school for years and is just trying to find a way out to now take it now. At that point, 2018, I was out of medical school 15 years. So it's been a long time. I learned the skills and I learned the concept. And at that point, I was not practicing clinical medicine. So I had this negative belief. There's no way I can pass this exam now. And I struggled with that negative belief for 3 to 4 years. But something happened one day, and I spoke with somebody, one of my mentors at the conference, and he told me something. He said, it's better to try it and fail, and let it be on record that you tried and you failed, than for you to look back 20 years from now and wonder why you never even tried. It hit me like a ton of bricks. Like, okay, he said, try it. There's no harm in trying. If you try and you fail, let it be on record, and then you will know you tried. But to look back 20 years from now and wonder, why did I even try? Why did I not even try? And that was, of course, in between many other encouragement from other people, and also, of course, encouragement from God's word, like I always draw all the time. Many things combined, but that was the last straw that broke the camel's back. I'm like, I will go try. If I fail, at least it will be on record that I tried and I failed. And that was when I changed my negative beliefs that I can pass this exam. I can try with the potential to pass. And if I fail, I fail. It still looks kind of negative, but it's not negative any longer because I'm backing it up with action right now. And of course, I studied, I did everything I needed to do. And of course, eventually I passed the exam in 2019. It's been, today is 2025, it's been 6 years now. Passed the second one, passed the third one, residency is almost done. So the point is, do not let negative belief hold you down. But you have to sit down and like decide what negative belief is holding me down the most in the area of life where I want to succeed. So that's my plan. M for meaning making, Tony Robbins. A for action. I shared my story of how I took massive action that helped me to flip my negative beliefs in terms of making these videos. P for planning, and that is sitting down and making a plan. And I also shared my story of how I had to like get myself out of the rut of I cannot pass USMLE exams until taking action to back it up. So you've got to be able to plan out things that will help you take action and change the way you think about the thoughts you have in you. And then we are now in map lamp, we are in L, which is learning. I'm going to show us two books. One Start from Zero. It's a book that it's mainly about entrepreneurship, and there's a chapter in the book that talks about changing your negative beliefs into positive one, flipping it around. And I told us about Tony Robbins. This is one of his books that I have, Money Master the Game. He shares a lot of his stories in the book too, and some of which I just shared, some of which I just shared with you in this video. Again, I always emphasize and I choose books because I want to believe that those books, reading books, listening to books, I listen on audio because I really don't have a lot of time to sit down to like flip the books. When I'm driving to work, I'm listening. Whenever I'm driving back from work, I'm listening to books. So I want to encourage you at times when I'm taking a walk in the house or whatever. So find time, no matter out of your busy schedule. My recommendation always is one book every month at least, to keep developing yourself, self-development books, at least one every month in the area where you need strength. If you have a lot of negative beliefs, there are books you can buy that helps you undo negative belief. There's a particular book by Tony Robbins called Awaken the Giant Within, which talks a little bit about flipping this negative belief. So I encourage you to get a book and to read it. And you can get the Start from Zero if you're an entrepreneur or somebody who wants to start a business or you're thinking of starting something from the scratch. In that book, one of the things I learned very recently is to really start a business, you don't need more than 2 hours a day. So you can have your full-time job and still be able to hold a business. So long you can invest 2 hours a day, it's more than enough to start a business. So I'm encouraging you, maybe you have your full-time job and you've been thinking of starting something by the side and it's just so hard to get it started. Go get the book Start from Zero. And I promise you that it's going to give you what it takes to kickstart what you want to start and to make things start to work in your life. And that brings us to the end of planning. And that then brings us to A, which is alliance formation. Alliance formation is talking about relationships. We cannot do life alone, especially in the area where you really want a transformation in your life. You could go for courses, you could take online courses, there are free videos all over YouTube on almost everything. This video is free, for example, that can help you to, help build your life in the way you want it. In one of Anthony Robbins' book, one of the things he shared was he went to a particular training that was paid for. I can't remember the amount of dollars he had to pay very early in his life. Did he sell something to be able to pay, or like he emptied his bank account? I can't remember exactly now, but it was just so difficult to even come up with the money to go for that training. But he said that training changed his life. So that's one way you could go into getting mentorship from people that can help you. And I just shared with you my personal story of, somebody talking through with me. He's an oncologist in Atlanta. Person who said that last word that broke the camel's back, that for me to go decide to take USMLE exam. Maybe he's watching this video now. He is somebody who I see as a mentor. I've met him in conferences for years and we've talked and, sent emails to each other. And, that word, like I said, from him made all the difference for me to take that major step. So you need people in your life that will speak life into you. You need to surround yourself with people that will help you. There's a saying that you are the average of the 5 closest people in your life. I can't remember who said it now, but or something like that. You are the average of the 5 or so number of closest people in your circle. So you need to be careful who you listen to. You need to be careful who you allow to influence your life. So you need to select people. The world is easy now. Yes, just so many books. There are people you respect so much, and it's so hard maybe to have a one-on-one relationship with them. Get their books, watch their videos. One thing I do a lot is my own personal development plan is one book every week. So anybody I see the kind of success I see in their life, like I've showed you the book published I'm using for my book that will soon be out next month, hopefully. So I've read this book in and out. I have coaches in this program that I meet with like regularly, about once every week right now. So, and I have so many opportunities to learn and to soak from people who have succeeded publishing books and succeeded marketing books. So, of course, I had to pay for his course. So, you might need to pay something. Invest in your personal development. It's not too much to spend money to invest in your personal. Any money you spend in your personal development is money in the right direction. So develop yourself, learn something, enroll for courses. If you are able to pay for it. If you cannot afford it, then look for things on YouTube that are free that can help you to learn something. Be in a relationship with people that have the kind of success you really want to have. with your life and destiny. So after having your mission statement, after having your planning and learning, then the next thing is you have to form alliances. And after forming alliances, you have to decide on a mission statement for whatever you want to do. Like I shared my personal example with you on when positive relationship in my life dropped that word that was like a ton of bricks, was like, it's better to try this exam and fail and let it be on record that you did the best you could. Or even pass and not get a residency, let it be on record that you tried hard as much as you could, than for you to look back in 20 years and ask yourself, why did I not try? And I'm speaking to somebody's life right now. There's a step you want to take that you've been paralyzed by overanalyzing. Can I do it? Will I be able to do it? Will I survive? Looking at too many things. And I'm speaking to you right now that go take that step that you have to take, and take it by faith. Flip the negative thoughts positive. And then the next thing is have a mission statement, which is the M part of my plan. Have a mission statement about it. Like I shared in one of my recent videos, that on my phone, when I was preparing for USMLE exam, the home page was 246, which meant that was the score I wanted to have. Of course, the passing score at that time was 194 at the point when I took the exam. Initially, I think 194 when I first took the exam. But 246 was what I wrote. Fine, I never got up to 246, full disclosure, but at least eventually I passed well enough to get into a residency space. So the issue is, make sure you have a mission statement. So after flipping that negative thoughts, turn it into a mission statement, whatever it is. And, like I said, we have hundreds or thousands of thoughts that pass through our mind every day. But there are some core ones that are holding us down. And that's why I'm giving the example of a core one. One big one that was challenging for me in my life was that one for 4 years, when I thought I cannot make time to study for this exam. So how did I eventually make it? Because I first flipped my negative thoughts. Then I have a mission statement. Of course, I studied hard, put in the best I can. So it's not just changing your thoughts, you have to back it up with actions. So that's will be the thought that you can flip and back up with actions. And I have a mission statement. And I have a mission for my phone for throughout all the exams, even up to first, second. I think it was just last year I removed it from my phone. It was always there, like 246 was the home screen of my phone, always reminding me that for all of the 3-step exams, step 1, step 2, step 3, this is the score I want to have. I just came up with the number somehow. So make have a mission statement of something that a negative thought that you flipped around and that you want to move on with. And the last one I always talk about is prayers. BAPLAM MP is prayers. I believe in the supernatural. Throughout the process, personally, of my life, I've always believed so much in prayers, and it has always worked for me. So believe in prayers. Find scriptures that can empower your faith and your belief system in a positive way. For example, mine is Philippians 4:13. I can do all things. Today's Tuesday, so I have one Bible verse for every day, Monday to Saturday, that I say to myself for that unique day. Of course, there are many other verses, but those 7, I make sure I say them every single day for the day. So today is Tuesday, I'm making this video, is Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So I go with that spirit in everything I do. Don't let anything make you afraid. Don't let anything stress you. Don't let anything tell you cannot do it. You can do it. Come on. So sit down, flip those negative thoughts, and tell yourself, I am not poor. I'm not rich yet, but I have the potential to be very rich. That's one of the things I tell myself every day. I'm going to be very rich. Of course, I'm not where I want to be yet financially, but I keep telling myself, and slowly, step after step, day after day, God is getting me closer to my financial targets. And of course, I have a mission statement too for my finances, where I want to be at the age of 50, at the age of 60, 70, 80, 90, and even more if God gives me strength to live beyond that. So, and I'm I'm not just saying it, I'm backing it with action. I say it to myself every single day where I want to be. And every single day, here a little, there a little, I put a little bit into investments that will also help me in that direction. So, prayers, Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Believe it, say it to yourself every day. If that is the one you can believe, or whatever one works for you. And thank you so much for watching this video. Remember to like, it means the world to me. Remember to watch it to the end, share with your friends, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon.